Something that I guarantee you have never seen before. I mean, look at the Pacu. Is it worth the money? This pond is going to give you an experience unlike anything you have ever had before. What is up, everybody, and welcome to today's video. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Zach. This is SC Fish Keeping. I appreciate you stopping by. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you have not already, and as always, a very special thank you to all of my members tuning in. Now, for today's video, let me preface it by saying this video has been a long time coming and I am very, very excited about it. Now, we're in a section of the fish room that you've never seen before, and that's just because, well, the last time you saw this part of the fish room, I was standing over here, probably talking about this guy right here, and so that part of the fish room looked a little something like this. So yeah, looks a little bit different now. I rented a dumpster, I threw away like a bunch of stuff, and really tried to organize this. So now when you walk into the fish room, you're not greeted with this pile of unorganized junk.
You did it. You crazy son of a... You did it.
But rather, this white painted wall, some shelves, and just an empty open space that screams, do something awesome. Can you hear it? Can you hear it screaming? Now, you probably guessed from the title that we are going to be putting a pond in this space, but not just any pond. This pond is actually something that I guarantee you have never seen before. Psst. If you have seen a pond like this before, proud of you, love you. I'm not talking to you. Don't spoil it for anybody who hasn't. I guess why just stand here and talk about it when I could just set it up and show you, so. Pond! Although, there appears to be some assembly required, but I think I have an idea. I saw this on the internet once, and I'm curious if it's gonna work. Let's see if we can do this. Boom! Look at that pond.
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
But first, I have to tell you the backstory behind this pond, and I haven't even opened up what's in that other box, because it's really gonna set up the rest of the video, and trust me, you're gonna wanna hear what I have to say about it. Don't worry, I'll keep it brief. A few months ago, a gentleman reached out to me on Instagram and said, Zach, love your videos, love the fish that you keep. I'm, like you, am a monster fish keeper, and I noticed that in the United States, there are no products specifically designed for monster fish. And I can't help but agree with him. I use children's swimming pools as ponds to keep my fish, and I make filters big enough to handle the bio loads of these fish out of trash cans, PVC, and little like spongy pot scrubby things. So I couldn't help but agree with him. The plan was that he's going to make these products available for sale on Amazon, making them very easy for everyone to get. And he wanted to send me a few of them so that I could test them out and do a review here on my channel. And I said, absolutely, I'm all for that on one condition. I need to be able to give an honest review on these products. I didn't want to be in one of those situations where it's like just because he sent me some stuff for free, I was obligated to say nothing but nice things about it. So anything that I say about this, you can hopefully trust, knowing that this is not a sponsored video. This is just me doing a product review. But honestly, I'm pretty excited about it and excited to get water in it. Let me show you why. So this is where I follow through on the guarantee of not having seen anything like this before. Because this pond has a clear front viewing panel. See? See-through. And it's pretty big. At 6 feet side to side, 4 feet front to back, and 2 feet tall, this pond sits right at about 470 gallons. That's a lot of water, and that gives you a lot of options. You could do it as a grow out tank for some stuff. You could set it up as a forever pond. You know, really whatever you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what fish to put in your pond. But for me, I'm really excited about this thing. I love the dark color of the liner. That with some light sand and that clear front panel. This pond is going to give you an experience unlike anything you have ever had before, and that's honestly what I'm most excited about. Building this thing can be a little time consuming, it's a little tedious. This one took me just a couple of hours, despite how it looked in the video. But all in all, it's pretty straightforward. You have your corner legs, which are a little longer than the other ones. It gets time consuming because there's 6 of these screws you have to put in each corner. And then each of these side supports, these things kind of clamp around this frame bar. And then there's a screw that you put in there and you slide, you know, the leg up in there. Now, comparing it to the Intex pool, this is what you see more commonly on especially YouTube. There's these kind of big side braces, and then the legs actually bow out. That's how they're supposed to be. That's not just me doing it. And then you have a long strap that goes under that side, and then another long strap that goes this way, and then nothing across the top. I've never had any issue with any of these structurally, but you know, the new one with the window is a little different. Similar to the Intex, you do still get the straps underneath, but as you can tell, you get one on each of the side legs. You get one that runs underneath the pond the long ways, and then you might have noticed you have these big straps across the top that hook on to the side, which is going to prevent the pond from bowing up top, which is nice. Now, all that's left, and do this on any pond, trust me, water test it. So I already got this thing set up. I put some foam panels, which I'm going to trim up underneath it. We're just going to put some water in it and see if it holds.
3 days later.
So after a couple days, the pond is doing exactly what we would expect and hope for it to be doing. And that is keeping all of the water contained within inside of itself and not letting any of that water come out. So that means we can get to the fun stuff, which is actually setting this pond up and getting it ready for fish. I am going to do kind of like a final walk around and give you my final thoughts on this pond after we get it set up here. And ultimately tell you if I think it's worth the money. So definitely stick around for that. But the first thing that I think we need to do is go ahead and add some sand. Check. And then as far as the rest of the stuff goes, it's going to be pretty easy to do, like the little fun transitions, because I already set it up to make sure it was all working. So filter, done. Heater in that trash can, done. Lighting, couple little clamp kind of shop lights, so done. And we have a fully functioning, working pond. Let's see what you think. If you remember, the whole goal of this pond was to give you something that when you walk into the fish room really got your attention right away. And so far, I mean, even though this thing is cloudy, has no fish in it, and really only just has sand, I think it's doing the job. Now, like I said, it's a little cloudy because I just put the sand in there, but this filter is going to do a fantastic job of really cleaning that up in no time, as well as if you've ever set up like a new aquarium, you know, the glass gets the like bubbles when you add the sand and the water and stuff in. So that'll help kind of clear it out as well. But I need to do a little disclaimer about this filter here, because you're probably going, Zach, what the heck is that? This massive tower of boxes is actually a trickle tower filter that was sent to me along with the pond so that I could kind of review it and tell you guys my honest opinion. And I was gonna do it in this video, but I definitely think I've already rambled way more than I want to. So we're gonna save this for an upcoming video, because I have some pretty strong feelings about it that I wanna share. But I know that this thing is going to clean this pond up and filter it in no time, because you might have noticed I have the big one over there. So this massive thing is just the bigger version of what I have running on the 470. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to test out one of these as well. And as you can see, this thing is an absolute beast. That's the 150-gallon tank behind it, and that thing sits like over 5 feet tall. So this thing is a huge filter, and I really, really want to showcase it and give you guys the opportunity to learn some more about it. But look at how clean this thing makes the water. I mean, look at the Pacu. This tank, yeah, it's crazy how clean this stuff is. So these filters work great. I'm excited for the one on the 470 to really clear this thing up and have the same kind of effect going. But yeah, what do you think, guys? Before we wrap this video up, I want you guys to run down to the comments and let me know what you want to see go inside this I'm calling it the window front pond. So let me know what you want to see. We could do like a native kind of community pond. We could do like a monster grow out. Just let me know what you want to see. I'm kind of leaning towards using it as like my phantom redtail, platinum gar grow out. But if you guys want to see something else, I want to put fish inside this pond that you guys would enjoy seeing, because I think we're going to get a lot of content out of something like this just since it's so unique. Now, with that being said, I wanted to give my final thoughts on this pond so you can use me as like a resource to help decide if you think you should run out and buy one of these. Again, the link will be down below in the description for you to check it out yourself. Here's my final thoughts, kind of my final review. Do with that as you will. To me, the biggest selling point of this pond is that right there. That view is not something that you get with any other type of pool pond, and once we get some fish in here, it's going to be just a thing of beauty. So that right there to me makes this pond worth at least considering when you decide that you want to like upgrade and do a cheap type of pool pond setup. Because what I've been doing is comparing it directly to this one, which is the Best Way brand, but the Intex brand has like the checker pattern. Those are the two that are probably most commonly seen on YouTube as far as like cheap pool ponds for big fish go. Looking purely at the dollar amount, you are spending more money on something like this with the window than you would something like that without. But I think that's to be expected because you're technically paying for a better experience being able to see it from above as well as down on the side. So I think the cost is to be expected. And honestly, it's not that much of a price jump from this guy and this guy, because when COVID hit and everybody had to go into quarantine, the price of these pools skyrocketed. Everyone was looking for ways for their kids to stay home, stay indoors, and you know, cheap swimming pools was a quality way to do that. And I know that because this thing constantly leaks, and I tried to replace it and realized that the price went from like 120 bucks when I bought it 3 years ago to almost $300. So the price difference is not nearly what it could have been years ago. So, you know, do with that as you will. Otherwise, quality of this thing I think is good. The material seems sturdy. The frame seems solid. The filter, like I said, I'm excited to talk about. There's a lot of flexibility with what you can do with it. It's a good footprint, all that kind of stuff. So to me, is it worth the money? I'm gonna say absolutely. I love this thing. I'm excited to get fishing. I hope you guys are excited about this. Let me know down below what you think about this window front pond. And again, what you think we should put in it. If you do happen to buy it, let me know. Send me pictures of it on Instagram so that way I can check it out. And yeah, one last look as it sits, because the next time we see this, which will just be a couple videos, we're gonna put some fish in it, and I'm gonna tell you what else I did to kind of set it up. So hopefully you guys are excited about that one. Remember, as always, this is Zach with SC Fish Keeping reminding you that every fish is a keeper. Thanks for watching.